Hi everyone, this is the answer key for test number 1 for Pre-Cal 40S, and I'm just going to look first at the multiple choice answers. There'll be other videos that will take a look at the short answer and the long answer questions. Okay, so here's the multiple choice. First answer for question 1 is B, and a little bit of an explanation is needed, I suppose. The graph of f of x is reflected in the x-axis. So when I say reflected in the x-axis, what I mean is that there is a vertical reflection. So in other words, the equation g of x is the vertical reflection of f of x. In other words, negative f of x. Okay, now we are asking you to go just a step further here. And so what is negative f of x? Well, f of x is 2x minus 1. So negative f of x is negative 2x minus 1. And well, that gives you, by distributing that negative sign, negative 2x plus 1. So the answer is B. By the way, just for your information, question A, well, nothing happens, so it's actually just f of x without any reflections, without anything changing. Option C is actually the horizontal reflection. It's a reflection over the y-axis. And option D over here on the end is, what is it? Oh, it's a shift. It's a shift up 2 units. Okay, question 2. Consider the graph of f of x equals x cubed. It's translated 3 units to the right. The new equation is, well, that is going to be option C. Okay, that is a translation 3 units to the right. Option D is a translation 3 units to the left. Oops, stupid pen. Left. Okay, option B is up, and option A is down. So in fact, all 4 of these are translations, but one of them happens to be to the right. And so that's option C. Question 3. The point 4, negative 5 is on the graph of y equals f of x. A point that must be on the transformed graph of y equals f of 2x plus 3 is, well, let's think about f of 2x plus 3. This is a transformation of the graph of f of x, and the transformation in mapping notation is as follows. Any point xy is going to become x divided by 2, comma, y plus 3. So the point 4, negative 5, well, the 4x value is going to be divided by 2. In other words, I should get x equals 2. And the y value, we're going to add 3. So negative 5 plus 3 gives me negative 2. And thus my answer is D. Question 4. Given the graph of f of x, the function g of x equals 4f of x can be described as, well, there's really only one answer here that makes any sense for us. It's a vertical stretch by a factor of 4. And this is just testing some real basic fundamental knowledge here. Okay, and finally question 5 on this page. The graph of the function of the absolute value of x is shown below. And then we ask about the range. Well, in fact, what transformations occur here? Well, there are 2 shifts that take place. We go to the left 2 and down 1. I might as well graph that. Okay, if I move the entire graph to the left 2 and down 1, that point that was at 0, 0 shifts down to where I've put this blob, and the rest of the graph sort of looks like this. Okay, and you can see clearly what happened to the range is it became C, all the values from negative 1 to infinity, right? Another thought here, another approach is to say what's happening as a mapping notation to any point on f of x, and those points all become x minus 2, y minus 1. And so the original range of the original graph is 0 to infinity. Those are all y values, and so the range then, all the y values go down 1, So 0 goes down 1, which goes to negative 1, and infinity goes down 1. Well, it doesn't really go anywhere then. And so we end up with that option C as well. That's another way of thinking about it. Okay, continuing with the multiple choice. Question 6. The answer here is B, and a little justification. The x-intercepts are the points -2, 0, 0, 0, and 4, 0. And it's simply a matter of looking at what transformation occurs to each of the points when we perform these transformations. Okay, so I use some mapping notation, and for example, the point -2, 0 becomes 5, 0. Okay, and you can try mapping using this transformation over here, and you should get 5, 3, and -1, which is B. Okay, next up we have question 7. The y-intercept is -6. Coordinates of this point after transformation. Well, y-intercept is really just the point 0, -6. And so I just have to transform 0, -6 into a new point and find where that point has ended up. Well, for this, I just kind of look to see what transformations occur. Well, the x values will all go down 5. So the new x value will be -5. And the y values will be multiplied by 3. And so the y value becomes -18. So we end up with -5, -18, and that's option A. And finally, the last multiple choice. If f of x equals 2x minus 1, the equation of f inverse of x is option B. I'm just going to approach this one holistically, but you can do it algebraically. Holistically, the original function says take an x value, multiply by 2, and subtract 1. Well, how would I undo that? Well, to undo that f of x, we would add the 1 back in and then divide by 2. And so, in fact, that's what B does. One other way of finding this, other than thinking about it holistically, is to write x in the place of y and y in the place of x. That's the inverse function, and then it's just simply a matter of isolating y from there. Okay, that's it for multiple choice.